Welcome to Totally Naked Movie Reviews, where we review today's top movies, stripping them down to their bare essentials and exposing any faults they may have. Tonight we look at Blumhouse's Truth or Dare. So, quick plot synopsis, it's right there in the title, Truth or Dare. Some college kids have to play a cursed game of Truth or Dare. That there's a demonic spirit floating around will pop up and tell them truth or dare, and they have to pick one of the two. And if they pick dare, the dare is going to be pretty deadly. It'll be like walking through traffic, walking on a tightrope, pissing on an alligator, something that could get them killed even if they try. Or the truth, they have to reveal some terrible secret. So that's the movie. I was intrigued by this premise. I know some people look at this and say, oh, a movie about truth or dare? Well, I guess Hollywood has run out of ideas. To which I say, just shove it up your ass. At least it's a different idea from another goddamn sequel, reboot, or remake. And like I said, that's a pretty interesting concept. Truth or dare. It's kind of a wacky game where people do stupid dares, or you learn something about them. So you add this sort of demonic spirit element to it where, they could get themselves killed or if they tell terrible secrets. There's a lot of ways they could have done this movie. It kind of now, I liked the movie. It was okay. Could it have been a lot more? I think it could have. It kind of just reminds me of when I first heard about The Purge, where one night in the United States, all crime is legal, including murder. And I thought, oh, that's an interesting premise. I go in to see, this is the first Purge movie I'm talking about, and what you end up with is just a run-of-the-mill home invasion movie. The follow-ups, they gave you the Purge movie you were expecting, seeing the chaos in the cities and how it affects people. First one, they like I said, it was a cool premise, but they did not execute it well. And with this one, they executed it well enough that I liked the movie, but I thought it could have been so much more. Like with what I liked is you see how this game affects them, where Lucy Hale's character keeps getting the truth, where she has to reveal these secrets, and it affects her friendship with one of the other main characters. I don't know what that actress's name is, and I thought the two of them did a pretty good job, and I like that sort of storyline where Lucy Hale's character keeps saying things. He's like, oh, she takes truth. She goes, reveal your best friend's secret. She's like, she's cheating on her boyfriend. And the other girl, and then she's like, oh, God, why would you tell everyone that? I told you to keep it a secret. And throughout it, Lucy just keeps on revealing shit that, her character didn't want to know. So, that kind of tears that relationship apart. And then that other character's got some problems of her own. And yeah, I thought the two main characters, the two girls, I like how they were written, and I liked the acting on that. And, I gotta hand it, I think there was some tension in this film, like with the dare where the girl has to walk around the top of the roof, drinking a bottle of gin, and she has to be on the edge, has to finish the bottle. I thought that was executed pretty good. A lot of people complain about the effect of the demonic creature. It hops from one person to another, and you realize when someone's possessed, but you get this sort of flash of red eyes and the big old smile that just extends to the freaking ears. I thought they looked like Cheshire cats. A lot of people had a problem with that. They thought, it's this cheesy special effect. But I think the movie benefits from that because you're going to remember how they looked in that. It's not just some run-of-the-mill demonic spirit-looking thing with, the eyes are all white like we haven't seen that 100 times. They did something a little different, and you're going to remember how they did it. If I had a few complaints, when you get to the dares and Well, the dares, like what the demonic creature, if they took dare, what they are. There's not really much of a payoff with those. It's like the first guy to get killed. It's like, hey, pull out your dick. And it's like, if you've seen the trailer, you know what happens to this guy. He goes, I'm not going to do it. Slips on an 8-ball because he was on a pool table and breaks his neck. You're hitting the other table, which it was a PG-13 movie, so you don't see much. But yeah, and then like I said with some of the other ones, the one with the girl has to walk around the house, that that had some tension. But some of the other ones, I mean, they build it up where you're like, this demon could pop in at any moment, and it's kind of like Final Destination where it has an order where it goes around. So at any given time, this demon could show up and say, truth or dare. And it really suck if like you were at a Home Depot in the hardware section. You got saws and axes around you. And if you were unlucky enough to be the person who had to do dare, because it's not just you could pick truth or dare. Another thing that I did like was they said, oh no, not so fast, because if everyone took truth, they wouldn't have to worry about something that would get them killed. So the game is like, that's not how these other people played it who passed this curse on to you. They did 2 truths in a row, and then someone had to do a dare. So it sets it up where when it's your turn, you might get the choice of truth or dare, and you're like, oh, well, I could do truth and save my own ass, but that'd be setting the next poor bastard up for dare. I like that element. And like I said, the problem is like when they had to do the actual dares, like put their lives in danger. Most of them they didn't pay off. It's like, oh, you should have sex with that guy because she's dating that friend of yours. Once again, that tears that relationship apart. But it's like, she wanted to have sex with that guy anyway. So I would have liked more when there were more deadly dares. Where it's like, now walk through traffic. Will they get out of the traffic? Will they get clobbered by a bread truck? Yeah, the dares didn't pay off. The truth did. But like I said, the dares didn't. Aside from that, I did enjoy the film. It wasn't the greatest horror film in the world. I don't think I got scared at any point. But I enjoyed it. They had some decent characters. They had some decent character relationships. And they moved the story along. A couple flaws along the way, like there is one scene where they go out back to Mexico to find someone who had started the cursed game of truth or dare. They knock on the door of this trailer in the middle of nowhere. This one chick answers. He's like, what are you here doing here? He's like, we're here to see your grandma. She's like, well, hold on. Just wait a minute. And apparently they waited there for an hour. Which is, what? And you find out some information. If you think about it, it makes sense of why she had to they had to wait out there for an hour. But when you're actually watching, it's like, where's this going? And I thought there was something about when they went back to Mexico, I thought it was pretty weird because they didn't bring, at this point, a couple of the friends have died off. There's 2 still alive, and they didn't think to bring the other 2, except for the blonde. The blonde chick, they're like, oh, we've been trying to get a hold of her. What about the fucking Asian gay guy? They didn't think to take him with them. I mean, at any given time, he might get the truth or dare. Don't you want him sitting in proximity? See if you can help the guy? But they didn't seem to give a shit about him. Until he actually got the dare that would get him killed off. Yeah. Besides that, I like the film. The way I rate my films is how much money I spent to see this versus how much I thought it was actually worth it. I spent $8.50 to see it. I'd say it's worth about $7. That $1.50 off because it could have been just so much more. Also, before I forget, the ending, won't spoil it for you, but Lucy Hale's character, I can't remember her name, what a fucking bitch! Yeah, that's what I thought of the ending. I said that right in the theater. I just yelled out, what a fucking bitch! she has to make a choice. I won't say any more. But when she made it, I was like, what a fucking bitch.